Hey everyone, thanks so much for joining us again tonight. Episode 3 of our video series, The Everyday Mom. Tonight we are featuring Liz Belanger. She's a mother of 2 and we're so excited to have her with us. Enjoy this video. I know it's going to bless you. Hey Liz, how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm good. I'm so glad that you agreed to do this. I think it's going to be fun. It's going to be a great time. I think that the women are going to love to get to know you as much as I've gotten to know you. And you've just been such a part of my family. And I think that you're a wonderful mom. You got 2 great kids. You have 2, Erin and Haley. And how old Erin?
Erin's 23 and Haley is 21.
21. Wow.
I know.
Liz, did you always want to be a mom?
Always.
Yeah.
I never played with dolls. I just wanted the real babies.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's awesome. And so in your life as a mom, who or what would you say has been the most influence in how you are a mom today?
Well, this is going to sound strange, but it was my grandfather. I mean, obviously the women in my life, but when I really thought about it, it was my mother's father. He always listened to me. He always talked to me. He didn't talk at me. When I had an idea or wanted to discuss anything, he just took the time to get right down to my level, look me in the eye, and he was there, just mentally and physically there listening to me. And I just remember feeling like completely valued by him. And I thought, you know what? This is how I want my kids to feel too. Like all children should feel this way, because I didn't feel that way with a lot of other adults. And so that's why that stood out to me. So it was my grandpa.
That's awesome. I love that. So tell me one thing that you would be most proud of that you and Ron have taught the kids.
How to see other people's points of view. Not to be so singular, but, whatever's going on, let's kind of step outside and see if we can look at it another way. And
That's
they do
awesome.
that. Yeah.
That's really awesome. That's a gift.
Yeah, it's a hard lesson, but once you do it a lot, it gets a little easier. And I definitely see that with the kids. For sure.
That's awesome. So tell me something that is unique about Haley and something that's unique about Erin.
All right. I'll start with Erin because he's the oldest. For a guy, he's a really, really deep thinker, like really deep, and he feels very deeply. Like, I mean, I can see it with him. He gets people. He understands people. He's a lot like me in that sense. And I mean, a lot of times we just crack up because we're thinking the same exact thing, and we just look at each other and we know.
That's awesome.
Know that, and Haley and I have the same exact mannerisms. She's really a lot like Ron, but her looks and her actions are me.
Nice.
So it's kind of a neat combination. Yeah.
That's awesome. I know I've seen Haley a bit. She's really taken to being over at Carla's. She's loving the foster babies.
Yeah. Yes.
She just has that natural propensity to love.
She does.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah.
I think both of your children have that natural to care for others, which is something that they're taught by you and your husband. I think it's a great thing.
Yeah, although that's kind of funny because that's the next thing I was going to talk about.
Yeah.
Yeah, like when you wanted to know what's the best thing about being a mom.
Yeah.
And for me, it's watching my kids with children. Especially when they don't think anybody else is watching. It brings me so much joy to see them as a mentor. Watching Aaron when he was with Royal Family Kids and watching him with those kids, and he had no idea at times that I was around and I could see. And it just, and to hear the other adults come up to me and say, he was great today with those kids. Did you
Yeah.
see him? You know, both of them just, they get kids. They understand, they have a compassion for them. I don't know. They just, and they're able to really see, they get upset when, you know, when there's an injustice done to others.
Yeah.
And especially with children. So I think that's why they resonate so much with kids. There's that protectiveness that is, to me, I think is just natural to them. Yeah. I mean, when Haley was a baby, she did not stop crying. She was so colicky. And Erin used to walk around the house and go, baby crying, baby crying, baby crying, baby crying.
Awesome.
Yeah.
So it started at a young age. That's awesome.
Yeah. Yep.
So what would you say that you feel like you struggle with the most as a mom?
Letting go and knowing that they're going to be fine without my input. Like really, you know, that just be still. That is like one of the sayings that I have up in my house: be still and know I am God. Just be still and let God, let go.
Yeah.
Let God take this on with them and know and trust. That's my word right now. Trust that it's going to be fine. And that's been a huge and a hard lesson for me. I'm still learning it. But that's probably the hardest thing, is not being in control.
Right.
And I shouldn't be in control at their age right now with everything.
Sure.
Yeah.
And so what piece of advice do you think that you would give a mom that is struggling with her every day?
Trust your instincts. You know, your instincts are to do the best for your child all the time. And so you just need to trust your instincts and move forward with that. And unfortunately, a lot of times our instincts aren't right. But you need to sit down with your children and apologize if it wasn't right. And I've done that more times than not. I mean, Ron and I have said to our kids, you know, this whole parenting thing, we're still new to this.
Sure.
We've never had a 21-year-old. We've never had a 23-year-old, you know, we never had a newborn. Every stage is new.
Yeah.
And every stage we're going to do the best that we can, but we're still going to mess up.
Sure.
And we need them to recognize we don't know it all. And that's okay. That's a part of it. And so it becomes more of a team, being able to work with the kids that way, because they realize that, you know, we don't think we know it all. We know they know we don't know it all. No.
That's awesome.
I mean, yeah. And I, you know, there's been times where I've said to, you know, Erin just recently, you know, you're going to get mad at me for this. And then I'll say what I need to say. And he's looked at me and he said, I'm not mad at you, Mom. I know you're trying to help me.
Yeah.
You know, and that like breaks me. I'm like, he gets it. He gets it. Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Liz, thanks so much for spending time with me tonight. It's just such a pleasure and a joy always to spend time with you. And
thank you.
I love your family, and so appreciate you and Ron and all that you do for our Royal Family kids, and looking forward to seeing what God has for the future.
Thank you.
Amen. I love you. Have a good night.
You too. Bye-bye.